Hi guys, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending when you're watching this. I'd like to show you today how to deal with the data that you collected for your research. This is a survey that we collected data from, and as you can see here, we have about 225 responses. So we collected this data using Google Docs, Google Forms. And now you just need to go to responses, and over here on top, just download the CSV file. Once you download the CSV file, open it and save it as, and I'm saving everything here for a presentation, save it as Excel workshop, and keep the data in the file. Okay, so now that I saved the data, let me show you my strategy. First of all, I keep the data as original. So I'm going to just put this here. I'm going to say original data, and this original data is intact. I haven't done anything with this data. So I'm going to call this data the original data, and it's intact. Then I'm going to start to prepping the data. So I made a copy. So you just make a copy of this file and rename it as data prep 1. And this data prep is basically, I'm looking at the data types, making sure that it's readable. Over here, for example, we made a mistake in collecting the data, like you put 4 hours. I need to get rid of the word hours so that I can take it as integer. So I'm going to show you in this video how to treat your data, the initial treatment of your data. First thing that you need to deal with is the timestamp. So I just got rid, okay. So the first thing, I just hold down the control key and press A to select all. So I'm selecting all the data here and putting it in a new sheet. So this sheet, I will start working with the data. So I always keep the original. As you can see here, I have original. All right, so first thing first, I just, as you can see, mouse over on the label. So once the mouse is over the label, it will be highlighted, and then right click and delete. Now, what I want to do really is to add another column. So again, on the label here, it's highlighted, right click and insert. So now I inserted here a new row. So over here, I'm going to just, here, this row that you see over here. So with this row, I'm going to also here align it as centralized. So with this row, I'm gonna, this is the whole question. I'm gonna give it here a name for the variable. So before I do that, I'm gonna add a sheet here and call it index of variables, or library, or variables library. So that we can call it the library. Let me check. I in fact has something similar here with the data. Before we collected this data, we collected just very small amount of data. Let's see if this is, no. So that it's just for saving time. Here. So these are the original data files. Okay. No. I'm sorry guys, I should have pulled this out before the recording. Let's hope it's, yeah, most likely it's here. Here's the index. Okay, so let's take a look at this index. So this index that I created is basically you're coding the variables from the question to the variable. So I'm just trying to code this, transfer it from the question form to a variable form. So this is the question form, and this is the variable form, so that you can use it throughout your analysis as a standard, and you come back and forth, you might forget, so you need an index. Add a clue mapping, questions to variables. Okay, so here is the question, here is the variable, and then these are the variables that you could use if you're using, for example, R software or R Studio for analysis, or any other software. Probably some languages do not tolerate spaces. So I suggest that you add an underscore, and then this is the type. Okay, it's all integers. So this is quite simple. These are all the questions that we have. What is your name, your gender? So this is the variables, and this is the I don't know why I put it twice. Maybe the first time we started like putting it together, and then over here a better name. In any case, what do I have here? The question, the variable, code, the type. So this is the last verdict, yeah? This is the last one here. Okay, so I'm gonna take this, guys, all together, because this is, I just, you know, done it before this recording. So this is the first thing that you need to do, or I suggest that you do when you're working with data. Organization is the key. So you need this index. So the index, let's put it before the sheet here. And this is what I'm gonna do. Copy. Before I paste it, I'm probably gonna make it a little bit bigger so that, yeah, and now paste. Okay, so now you understood why I just enlarged the cell size. Okay, so now I have all the questions here as in the survey. Nicely done. And here's the variable codes. All right, these are questions 1 to 9. How much do you spend from your living budget on your online shopping in yen? So I'm just going to copy this. I'll show you a trick also that I do. And I'm going to just paste it here. And then I'm going to transpose it. So now it is all in horizontal. And then I'm going to just take it and use it here. So this is a demographic age, demographic gender, demographic monthly budget. Okay, good. And this is what? This is demographic home, your home country, demographic fluent in Japanese, demographic visiting store online, demographic. Ignore this question. I think this question, I haven't even considered it, because this is the average time spent. So this is behavior. Oh, actually, I did code it. Because this is behavior, time spent on Facebook. So estimated average time spent on Facebook. So I did code everything. That's good. I never drop a question. Behavior, shop building, what? Budget, yeah? So this is the shopping budget. And then here, when you're interested in a product on Facebook, blah, blah, blah. So this is, apparently, it will be nice if we can number the questions. So this is question 1, 2, 3. And now let me just show you how I number the questions. Okay. And then I will fill it in a series. So now it is in a series. We stopped at 9. So over here I am at 9. Perfect. So perfect. Here I stopped at 9. All right. Next step here is to pull out the other variables. As you can see, I have it all done nicely, but I think these variables, they need some editing, in fact, in reality. Okay, so delivery time is long, no priority mail, suspect your personal information might be exposed, no return policy. So these here, these variables all belong to a latent variable. So these variables are used to measure a latent variable, a construct, yeah? So these variable here, they order something, ORI, I forgot what it stands for, but this is order risk, maybe, order risk. So OR stands for order risk, and this is OR1, OR2, OR3, OR4, and then here is delivery time, delivery is safety of delivery or guaranteed, delivery, insurance, info, privacy, this is return. So this is how we code the data. So if you are collecting data in such a way that all these questions are actually pointing back to measure another latent variable, which is ordered risk. So what's the risk? All the risk factors involved in ordering on Facebook related to product risk, yeah? So here we have the time, the priority mail, the suspect your information is at risk, or privacy, and the return policy and all that. So these are, for example, my student measured them. So this is how we code them. All right. Wait. I need to transpose them first. And now, here, long delivery time. So this is long delivery time, no delivery guaranteed, and over here the information privacy, and this is the return policy. So this is how we do the coding. This is the first step of processing your analysis. I will do this alone on my own later, but now I'm going to show you the second thing to do. So the first thing to do is create this index. As you can see here, the list of questions, and then the variable coding. Variable coding, in case you have latent variables, as you can see here, this all belong to one latent variable, order risk. Probably we should add here order risk variables. So I forgot, you can see that I forgot after a while what we were doing. So it's very important that you make it very clear for yourself and for others. Number of likes, this is a crowd engagement behavior, for example. This is the latent construct, and this is, I think, has to do with, this is the engagement itself, and this is a trust, I believe, something like that. So these questions measure a certain construct. These questions measure a certain construct, and these questions measure another certain construct. So this is how you do it. And then once you coded these like that, second step, you need to take a look at your variables. So this whole thing here is numeric. So I just like to make sure that this is in fact number, and I don't want decimals, but it's number. And here we go. Now it is nice and done nicely. Over here I have a problem. I have female and male and so on. So I need to process this. So I'm going to just insert a temporary column and code it as follows. If this here is equal to female, then if this is equal to female, then give me 0, else give me 1. So now I have 0 here, and I have 1 here for male. Okay, all is good. Randomly, I'm just going to take a look. Yep, all is good. So this is how we code the variables. I like to keep the variables as is, like this, on this Excel sheet, just to make sure everything is all right. So I'm just going to copy this. This is how I do it, and this is, I think, a good way to doing it. We just gonna later copy and fix everything over here, and I'm just gonna give it here. So this is the variable that I need for gender. All right, this is not This is your age, your gender, so this is going to be number 2 also. Okay. Now here, what happens here? Here, I just want to make sure that these are numbers and not, as you can see, not and if you want to add, yeah, you can add it. So these are numbers. Now, some of these numbers probably need a cleaning. We're going to talk about it. There's some problems here with the writing, with the typing. Obviously, you can't survive on 80 unless it's in 1,000. I think they believe it's in 1,000 yen. So we need to fix that in a later step. This step is just about the country, the categorical variable and these numerical variables. All these are numerical variables, as you can see here. So I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that they are all in numbers and they are fine. Let me show you how to fix some variables like these variables. Like you have both a numeric and text. So how do you do that? So you have the options is more than 5 hours. You have 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and more than 5 hours. So we need to write the if statement. Let's do it together. So equals if the text is more than 5 hours, and you need to make sure that in fact this is exactly the same text with the capital letters and everything, then give me 5. Else, if sorry, there's something missing here. If this is equal, if the cell value is equal to this, then if this value is equal to 1 hours, then not 1 hours, let's go in 5 hours, then 4 hours. So it's equal to 4 hours, then give me 4. Else, if this here is equal to 3 hours, then give me a 3. Else, if this value over here is equal to 2 hours, 2 space hours, give me 2. Else, give me 1. This is the last option, right? So we have opened how many if? 1, 2, 3, and the last one. Perfect. Hopefully it will work. Yeah, it did work. So now we have 5 over here, and then automatically here's 5, here's 1, here's 4, 3, so it's working fine. So this is how we code this kind of data. Same applies here. So you have yen, this is added as in yen. How do we fix that? There's a way to automatically fix that, but you have so many different problems with this. You have the yen over here. You can fix it by just deleting the yen. Over here you have 5,000 to Juma yen, so I'm just going to put the Juma yen for now. Here less than 5,000. These are, I don't have a specific target. So this kind of question, you probably need to take a look at it in more details. And barely means probably like 0. On average, this much a month. Okay, so this is what we asked on average. So here we go, 10 to 15. So there are ranges. So probably you might add minimum, maximum. So you might add something like that. All right. Over here it's all number. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Yes, I did. So if it is no, I didn't, give it 0. If it's yes, I pay attention, give it 1, as we just did it before. All variables here are just fine, as you can see. Okay, so this is the last question. What are these? I'm not sure. Probably there was a test. So here, this is the last question. over here. All are very good. They are all numbers here because this is like a numerical scale. So this is how you prep the data. So once you are done with this data, let's just make sure that all these are just in numerical. This is just me. I like to just make sure that these are in numerical numbers and no decimals, just to make sure that they are the right type, data type. So now that I'm done with all this, I just need to be careful to carefully take the variables. For example, how do you take this variable and copy it here in a new sheet? So I'm just take this sheet and make the cells a little bit bigger. So you see how all cells are going bigger at the same time? I like to do that. So over here, coding variable var names and numericals means, what do you mean by numericals? Like it trying to convert everything to numericals. So this might be a text, so make sure that it's a numerical. We've done that earlier, right? Based on these, for example, you could let me show you something here. So I'm going to just add a filter here, and I'm adding this filter to find out what countries we have. We have Algeria, America, Bangladesh, Britain, and we also have blank. So there are some students who didn't want to write their country. Mostly are from Vietnam and Japan. Basically, you can find here with the responses, you can find the countries over here. So Japan, we have 11.7%. Then we have 35% from Vietnam, 14% from Indonesia. Oh wow, I'm so happy. I used to have only one student from Indonesia. So I had now 31 students from Indonesia. I'm really happy. Thank you so much, Indonesian students. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thailand, Vietnam, again, it's going up supposedly, but they put it in a different spelling. Then we have like very few students, thanks to all of you guys. Jordan, I have a student from Jordan. And then also other students here from different countries who participated in completing this survey. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. All right, lovely people here. This is a way, just an easy tutorial on how to deal with your data when you are collecting data online. So last thing I do is just I take the variable. How did I select this column very easily? Look at that. 27. Okay, and the question 3, including rent. Okay, we actually asked about including rent. Okay. So over here, you just need to make sure HN. This question is about the age. So here's the age is not available. So what do? We either gonna let go, or maybe they are using a different, do not wish to specify. Oh, okay. So we put it just 1. This doesn't matter much. Over here, the age, this person probably doesn't want to specify the age, but we could just give it a random age, or we can just give it an age that is within the most likely, maybe the person is 21, since it's the highest percentage, or maybe about 20. So either 20 or 21. So you could just, it depends on how sensitive this data is. So you could smooth this variable. This is actually not the right time to do it. I should just keep it as is. Over here, I should just keep it as is. You know why? Because we're just doing one step at a time. Right now, I am just fixing this. Later, I'm gonna check the cleaning. This is not even cleaning. This is data coding. So I need to be very careful, guys. I'm stepping to the next step early. So this is just coding. So I'm just gonna leave it as is, even with errors. So how did I do that? How did I highlight the column very quickly. I just select this cell. With my thumb, I hold down the control key, and with my index, I press the shift key. So I hold down the control key with my thumb. With my index, I have the shift key down, and then with the arrows, down arrow, and look at this magic. So the down arrow went all the way down. Now I hold down the control key and C to copy, or right click and copy. And then you need to you go here and start populating your cells. So here is, I usually keep this because I like to add here just a series here. Let's add it. Don't miss this, and just fill in a series. I have 222, right? Oh, I have 225 data points. And this is how I do it, really. Let me show you one very interesting thing. Don't take the male, female here. Take this instead, the coded one. Now over here, make sure that when copy, when you paste, guys, paste as, I'll show you. When you paste, something gonna happen. Look what happened. The numbers got manipulated. So paste as number. So it's very important that you choose here, paste the values. Why is that so? Because these values were a formula over here. Didn't you see that? This is a formula. If this is equal to this, this is dependent on this. So when you are actually pasting it here, when you paste it, make sure that you are pasting a value, guys, all right? So this is how I do it. Let me show you how to copy a whole big lump of data. So I'm gonna not touch this. Oh, okay. So over here, I'm gonna copy multiple variables. So I'm gonna just select them, hold down the control key with your thumbnail and the shift key with your index and the down arrow, the arrow pointing down, and copy that and then paste it over here. So this is how we do it. All right. Let me and now this variable here, I'm just gonna copy that. I already made a mistake here, and we highlight. So this is something that you need to do to make sure that you know what is it that you're doing, really, and your professor knows what is it that you're doing. See, the same situation, put values. Don't forget to put values. Always keep your eyes wide open when you're working with data. So look at this very it's messy data, we call it messy data, or some researchers call it dirty data. So over here, this messy data, I have missed here to here, these two, I missed them. So I'm just gonna put them transpose here, yeah. Maybe I didn't take the whole all the data here. I needed to put this. So in any case, I showed you how to do it. You just I'll show you one other trick. So now we don't have any data to be coded. So all this is already nicely done. Let's say from here to here you wanna save all these or copy all these together. Let's say that you're ready to copy these together. How do you do it? You either select it like that, or you either take this cell, only one cell, hold down the control key with your thumb, the index on your shift key down, and then take the, if you want, take the down arrow first, and then take the right arrow. So you can be jumping. There's a problem here. I wonder why it didn't go. Because this is kind of like, I didn't populate these cells, so it stopped here. But if everything is symmetric and everything is symmetric and harmonious here, and all these cells are populated up to here, and all these cells are all cleared up, then the system will actually select, for example, all the way down, all the way to the side, and so on, with your right and down arrow. This is it for now. It's a short video that helps you get started with, first of all, coding your data. So what we've done now is just coding the data. We dealt with numeric variables, making sure that they are of a numerical data type, and also with categorical variables like that, or text, string kind of text kind of variables. We were able to put them in a numeric And this, for example, called the dummy variable because it takes the value of 1 or 0. And we use the if function, and we take if the value of the cell is equal to exactly the same spaces, the same capital or small letter. Also, it should be in between quotes. And usually no is given the value 0, and whatever else will be coded as 1. And you can see now here you have a 0. And for you to copy this formula all the way down, you just point the mouse on the corner. Once the cursor changes to this black skinny cross, you just need to double click. Probably I haven't mentioned this earlier, so I'm glad that I repeat again and again. So this is how you copy easily the formula into other cells. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you in the next video. In the next video, I'll continue working a little bit on this and copy this here. And in this sheet, we are going to start cleaning our data. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.